Everyone's got to stop with this insanity about $8 a month. Everyone has to stop, from the left, from the right, from whatever part of the aisle you consider yourself. You know you don't have to pay it, right? You don't want to pay Twitter $8 a month to have the little blue check mark. Don't pay them. It's completely and totally fine. No one's forcing you to. No one has a gun to your head. This isn't taxes, people. You don't have to pay the $8 a month. The insanity, though, has to stop. You sound ridiculous. Everybody's gone crazy, and there's just no need for it. And since when is it wrong to charge for a service that you provide? It really as if somehow capitalism's dead. It's not, but some people are acting that way. Welcome to the show, presented by Americans for Prosperity, AmericansForProsperity.org. I am lost to the anger. It is all virtue signaling and all quite pathetic. I decide to sit myself down and grab a cigar. I'm close to the end. This is the Colorado Claro Double R, and it's a semi-annual release from Davidoff, right there. This is a very, very, very outrageously good smoke. The problem is there's been this big price increase, and this cigar is now hitting at $50 a stick. And at $50 a stick, first of all, you better be damn good. Secondly, if you want to know what inflation is doing, issues are doing, it's increasing the prices of things like this, things that I absolutely love and adore. And this cigar now goes out of my acceptable daily price range. Admittedly, I'll probably pay more for the average cigar than most people because it's part of what I do. It's part of what I do with Eat, Drink, Smoke, my cigar and bourbon show, 60 plus stations across the country, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. But $50 a stick is hefty by any stretch of the imagination. And no one's forcing me to buy this cigar. No one. I can decide to buy it or not buy it. I can decide to pay the $8 a month so I can be verified on Twitter. And then there are like some other things that can come with that, like the opportunity to monetize your tweets. So there's a whole conversation about how you can monetize DMs. People can DM you and they'll pay for the privilege so they can get a response. Now, really, that's about celebrities. I'm not in that category. I appreciate that you watch, but I know who I am. I don't lie about these things. So maybe it's worth it, the $8 a month. If think of small numbers. If you could spend $8 to get 80, would it be worth it? Now think of people who have mass followings. Maybe it'll be worth it to them. But I can appreciate that it's not going to be worth it to everybody. But this is just damn silly. This is Lee DeVito. He is the editor of the Detroit Metro Times, also known as Detroit, sometimes Detroit. Elon's $8 a month check mark is a tax on journalism. Bitch, please. It's not a tax on journalism. If $8 a month is a tax on journalism, what then is a paywall? The argument explodes so quickly, devolves into nonsense so quickly, you realize how little thought is put into, well, every conversation that goes on out there. First, if it took a tax to have journalism be journalism again, I might very well pay it. Because journalism has long devolved into absolute nonsense and nothingness. It isn't about reporting the story. It's reporting a narrative on a story that fits whatever political party you're trying to get elected, which is to say, for mainstream media, the political left. That's what it is. You can say this. You can't say this. Anybody who says this is attacking journalists and trying to end democracy. And that's not what's happening here. That's nonsense. Never mind that the so-called journalists are nonsense. This is nonsense. And I've seen complaints from the political right too. Elon should pay me. Well, best of luck with selling him on that idea that he should pay you. But why is it so bad that he's asking? It's $8 a month, A. Remember, he started by floating $20 a month. Maybe he'll bring it down to $5 a month. Is there a number that's okay with people? The market does indeed decide these things. Capitalism is very, very good. The market should always decide. But it's not wrong of him to suggest it. It's not wrong of him to implement it. You have a business. You're employed. You get paid for what it is you do. Why all of a sudden for Elon is that not okay? Oh, because he's a billionaire? He's a billionaire because he gets paid for what he does. He has created a value that far exceeds the value that maybe other people have created for themselves. Look, if you ask me, I will tell you that I am stupidly underpaid, ridiculously, embarrassingly underpaid for what it is I create for my radio stations and other places. But if that's what the market is doing, I have to deal with that. Maybe I have to expand into other things. Maybe I have to create more of a following and therefore create more reasons for people to either want to support my content or want to pay to be attached to my content. I have a sponsor. You just heard about them, Americans for Prosperity. They see the value in what I provide, the content I provide, how I provide it. And they're like, yeah, we want to be connected to that. We want to be associated with that. We want to be a part of that. Good, thrilled, overjoyed. And my job is to serve you, provide for you, and then you learn about Americans for Prosperity and everybody's happy. That's what's so important. Now, you got to have a little bit of integrity in the thing, no doubt. You can't be told this is what you talk about, this is what you don't talk about. I've never gotten a note from AFP. You can't talk about this. Not at all. Not at all. And that's what's great. I will tell you that I've never gotten a note in my, I'm going to say my 8.5 professional years as a radio host. Never. I got one. I was discussing the fact that a local deli in Indianapolis called Shapiro's, which is an institution in downtown Indianapolis, didn't carry whitefish salad, and I was infuriated by it, and I am because I love whitefish salad. And I got an email from the then CEO of the company saying, can you call me? I called him. He goes, you got to do me a favor. You got to lay off Shapiro's. Like, why do I have to lay off Shapiro's? Well, he called me. They don't carry whitefish salad because not enough people would order it. It'll go bad, so that's why he doesn't have it. Leave him alone. The total amount of notes I have ever received. Oh, wait, there might be a second one. I was on air doing my morning show. My computer wasn't working at the station, and I was complaining about it. And I got a text from my program director that literally read, shut the F up right now. His point was, as we discussed it later, you're there for the audience, and they don't need to hear about your broken computer. Their computer is broken. They're in traffic. They're going to a job they don't like. And the last thing people want to hear is you complaining about your computer. He was absolutely positively correct. Remember who it is that you're serving. And I've taken to heart it's a fact that people who are going to work, coming from work, however they're listening to me in between their job, when they're hearing the things that I'm talking about, news stories and commentary, they're either angry about it or they have thoughts on it. And you shouldn't be angrier than other people. That's why I don't scream and yell on radio. I started that way. I had to learn that that's not a way to attract people, to connect to people. It just isn't. It just doesn't work. Those are the 2 notes I've received. Those aren't even notes about content. Those are notes about presentation. Don't give a guy a break about whitefish. I then told the story about the whitefish like I told you right now. If Elon Musk wants to charge, $8 a month, I say let him. Ooh, went out. Feel free, man. Feel free. Got to take the band off there because you don't want that to catch on fire. The Davidoff Claro, the double R. It's a sensational cigar. I've been on this for an hour and a half now. Yeah, because this is a 90-minute, 2-hour smoke, 7.5 inches long by 50. I mean, it smokes slow, it smokes well. I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of everything in the Davidoff lineup, but they continue to do absolutely spectacular work. The virtue signaling is just ridiculous and shameful. But it goes to show exactly how broken people are over Elon Musk owning Twitter. They cannot believe that they don't control the platform anymore. It infuriates them. You know that Elon has just laid off half the workforce, 3,700 people. And you take a look at how they're commenting, and they're commenting not about Twitter, but about themselves. and they're lamenting the fact that they no longer have control of this thing. This was theirs. It's a app. It's a platform. But they wanted to ensure their control of it. It was never about you, never about me, never about we being able to engage with each other. Why am I on Rumble? Okay, yes, I do send the stream over to YouTube. But why is Rumble my home? Why is this where I have the largest amount of subscribers, and it's growing? And don't forget to subscribe to Rumble, rumble.com/Tony Katz. Be sure to do that. That would be greatly appreciated so very much, and build that out. And thank you to everybody who's watching on Rumble, guys. How you doing? Leave a message there. I'm leaving you guys one right now. It's because I am not being throttled here. Why did we move everything over to locals? TonyKatz.locals.com. There it is right there. Well, that's simple. Facebook is in the throttling business. Facebook doesn't allow you to speak freely. Certainly on the cigar content, on the bourbon content. Oh my God, they got so many rules. It's embarrassing. I've been trying to get Elon Musk's attention, everybody is, about will you allow more cigar content? Will you, or tobacco content, right? And I'm not in the cigarette business. It's a whole totally different thing. Cigarettes are not cigars. More about bourbon. Can I utilize that to reach out to an audience that enjoys this and I want to share with? Same thing is true with the political. Found the places that can do it. Isn't this what they told us? If you don't like it, go get your own platform. People got their own platforms, and they were unhappy about that. Now they lose a platform, and the next thing you know, oh, this can't be. We have to investigate Twitter. We have to investigate Elon Musk. It was Representative Ro Khanna out of California who said that Twitter should be run by an advisory board. The guy Elon Musk spent $44 billion. Now he's got to give it up. He doesn't have to give up anything. I know Jack Dorsey, who had founded Twitter, is now creating something called Blue Sky, which is supposed to be this more decentralized engagement of conversation. We'll see if it does anything. But because he recognized that turning into the company as he didn't work. He takes full blame for the failure of what Twitter became. And I'm not here to let him off the hook. I think he is as much of the problem as the people who just got laid off. The idea that you can buy something and then you're not allowed to operate it the way you see fit is hysteria coming from the political left. What was it? Representative Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, look at this billionaire charging people $8 a month for free speech. Of course she's a child. All her policies are a child. I shouldn't say that about her. Her policies are childlike. Her attitude is childlike, and she has lost her whole social media game. She used to be something. I refer to her as Cougar, not a cougar. Cougar, Top Gun. She was holding on too tight. She's lost the edge. That's absolutely, positively true. He can charge $8 a month, and you don't have to be on Twitter, Representative Ocasio-Cortez. Your problem is this is where you gain so much of your celebrity, and now what are you supposed to do without it? You realize how fickle your celebrity is. You've got followers on this social media site, and you think that means something. Well, it means something when cable news outlets decide to utilize that to show how important you are, but you're not willing to stick around. You're not willing to stay, and you want to attack the guy who spent his own money to do it. Now, if you want to argue, you don't like the way he got his money because of subsidies and this and that, I'm not going to argue that. The subsidies drive me nuts, which is why I don't think Elon Musk is some kind of great American hero. He's a guy who worked the system. Hate the player, not the game? Yeah, the game said you can get the subsidies, and he figured it out. So why is anybody yelling at him? Change the subsidies. Go right to it. You're a member of Congress, Representative Ocasio-Cortez. You can do this. Why don't you go and do this? Pay the $8. Don't pay the $8. I actually don't care which way people do it. I don't care whether or not you do it or not. If you ask me, I'm paying the $8. I'm paying the $8. I want to see how it works. I want to see how it goes. If it doesn't work, all right, then I won't pay the $8. No more blue check mark. Fine by me, but I want to see what happens. I have wasted $8 on many, many, many more things. It's not the end of the world. But the idea that it's a tax on journalism, I mean, this right here, that's just embarrassing. That's embarrassing, ridiculous, sad, and absolutely positively pathetic. It should be called out for what it is. Oh, and did you see the ratio below? So that's where you see the retweets and the quote tweets. The quote tweets are all the people mocking him for it. It's just delicious. That's worth the $8 a month right there. Let me go to the comments really quick right here. There was one about, here's Lee. Hey, Lee, what's up? If Twitter is still heavily influenced by the FBI, which is part of the government, then the tax argument would be stronger. If you're arguing about what was happening with people on Twitter, where they were proudly working with the federal government to prevent people from engaging in conversation, you're absolutely right. If you want the dictionary definition of fascism, this idea of government and business working hand in hand, that's absolutely positively correct. It's obscene, it's disgusting, it's despicable, it's low rent, it's low class, it's beneath us, it's wholly un-American, and it has to come to an end. 100%. You won't get me to disagree at all. I'm not so sure that's going to be the case in Elon Musk's world. I think the FBI is going to be doing a lot more investigating of Elon Musk. What, we don't think that's going to happen? We think that they're just going to leave him be? Not a chance, not a shot, no way, and no how. I'm going to pay the $8. Not sure what you're going to do. This is Jeff right here. Elon Musk probably received the Donald Trump treatment. The left lacked the ability to deal with any pushback or challenge to their ideologies. But if he owns the platform, what's the Donald Trump treatment he's going to get? They're going to accuse him of sexual assault. They're going to decide that he's a threat to democracy. They already decided he's a threat to democracy. I'm assuming the allegations will come any time now. Elon understands the game. He does. He just happens to have the dollars to totally ignore it. He can totally ignore it. And I only hope that he does. And that's another reason why I'm going to pay the $8. I want to be supportive. I appreciate him buying Twitter. I appreciate seeing this explosion so people realize, my gosh, look at the entitlement of these people who thought that they were really in charge, that the control belonged to them, that they were the ones to decide who had a say and who didn't. So for that, I'm overjoyed. Absolutely, positively overjoyed. I want to see it go and grow. Now, I am doing, I will be streaming election nights. So election day is Tuesday, November 8th. That whole evening, starting at 6 p.m., we are live streaming. I'll have the list of cigars that I'll be smoking that evening, the beverages that I will have ready to go. You can watch your favorite network on TV, and then you're live streaming here, and we will have for you, we'll have guests coming in, guaranteed commentary you will not get anywhere else. Nobody will come close to what it is I've got planned for election night. So be sure to be here. Be sure to be here and be a part of it. Comment and share everything else. It's going to be an interesting night. It's going to be a very interesting night. I will get into some predictions. Actually, if you want my predictions, head on over to the locals page, tonykatz.locals.com, and go join. Be a subscriber. I'd greatly appreciate it if you were. And I've got some of my predictions going on right there. And of course, the radio show 6 to 9 a.m. on WIBC, WIBC.com, and then noon to 3. We do too. Yeah, we do 6 hours a day. Hey, I don't own Twitter. I gotta make a living somehow. That's how it goes. I appreciate you guys oh so very much. And do not forget to head over to rumble.com/TonyKatz and subscribe. Rumble.com/TonyKatz and subscribe. Get that done immediately, if not sooner. And guys, I will catch you maybe tomorrow, maybe on Monday. But I'll catch you soon.